way to here before you saw the first graph. Yeah, I know. That was amazing. All right, so the curve and the open circles, that's the relationship between carryover in Island Park Reservoir, the amount of water in the reservoir at the end of the irrigation season, and the water supply, the available water we have to work with here in the watershed. Natural flow, for those of you who read the water report every day, you get tired of me every single day saying natural flow. That's the water supply. That's what the watershed's doling out to us to meet needs, okay? That's a very tight statistical relationship. For those of you who work in ecology and natural systems, you realize, yeah, that's really tight. The more water supply, the higher the carryover is in Island Park Reservoir. Okay, the 5 blue dots are the 5 years since we implemented our water conservation program in order from right to left, because they were just drier every year. It's 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22. They just kept getting drier. We did this at the beginning of a drought. Notice that every one of those blue squares falls not only above the line, but well above the line. Meaning that we would expect, for example, the reservoir carryover in 2020 to have been right there at 55,000 acre feet, and instead the carryover was 75,000 acre feet. So that's a 20,000 acre foot difference we made with our programs. Now, after the first 3 years, I wasn't ready to say, look at what this great stuff we've done, because, well, on average, half the points are above one of these statistical regression lines and half are below. That's the definition of fitting the regression line in there in the first place. But then we got to 2021, really dry year, and we beat the expectation by about 40,000 acre feet, and then we just killed it last year. The expectation would have been a 1992 drawdown complete, and we had a 60,000 acre foot carryover in the reservoir. We beat that by 55,000 acre feet. The probability that all 5 of those points lie that far away from the line is about 0. So now I'm ready to say this is the success. The average savings, 25,000 acre feet a year over 5 years. Let me put that into some other numbers for you. That's a 48% improvement in reservoir carryover averaged over the last 5 years. That's worth 116 CFS of winter flow. That's a 44% increase in winter flow over what would have been expected had 1978 through 2017 management prevailed. That increased trout recruitment by 20% below the reservoir, by just an enormous figure above the reservoir, by 150% on kokanee and trout. The reason for the difference there is because there's a threshold below which, that diagram from Jack's dissertation, below which there just isn't any more cold water and no spring refuge. We kept it above that the entire time. Jack was really hoping for a dry year so he could document that during his dissertation research, and we kept beating it, the average, so much he never actually saw that. That's why the proportional difference is so great between upper and lower. Christina's work reduced the number of days of extremely low flow in the lower Henry's Fork by 20-some%. We reduced the outflow from the reservoir during irrigation season by 140 CFS. That's a 13% reduction in outflow during the irrigation season. That's equivalent to a 15% reduction in sediment export. That's 160 tons less sediment coming into the river as a result of our programs. So this is like off the chart success, and I don't say that just because we made it happen here at HFF. I'm saying that because you look anywhere at a system like this, you won't find anybody saving this much water, and on top of that, being able to quantify all this stuff that's related to having saved that much water.